Okay. I did take a bit of a break because of longer break than I intended. Due to me being exhausted, I just don't feel great today. Sorry about that. I did figure out how to get in here. I had a glitch. That's what you're supposed to click, but it didn't let me.
But I knew that the pariah was the key to the Bloodburn. I had no idea it would be Asamo Tahar's child, and I didn't know about this place. Otherwise, we would have come here earlier.
Earlier. Keyword. Earlier. I have no idea where I'm going, but I'm assuming it's going to be somewhere up over here. Assuming.
Yes.
That's why I'm going to save a lot. I don't know how long I'm actually going to play today for the game. Like I said, I'm tired. Just have not been having the best of sleep and other circumstances lately. There's actually really only one thing I want right now. Hell's up with these spectral abominations? For one. Mirror Frost, Ash Reavers. These weren't loaded in properly, so you couldn't click proper ones. Which is what made this. I'm guessing we have to go until we find what the fuck we're supposed to find. So being careful and saving is probably the best thing. A ton.
Tiara's breath. I suppose this is where he molded those bodies.
Fascinating. I wonder how this apparatus works.
He was probably studying something from the Shapers, because I do know the Shapers were able to make people. They also enslaved a bunch of different races. They weren't, exactly the nicest thing.
Yes.
Well, considering there's a ghost there that I have no idea what the fuck that is. It's guarding a entrance. I'm guessing that's where I'm supposed to go. Assuming. And I'm guessing Helena is going to be my mother.
Fair enough. Let's
Let us
do
make this quick.
What do we need? Portal?
Get ready.
Come back to the portal in a sec. I'll finish searching out this area to figure out what the fuck that portal leads to. That's pretty good damage, actually. I'm a bit annoyed that it scales with that, but it only is. Spark of Essence. Huh. Sword for humans, enchantment mail, the Shapers. I'm guessing he got a lot of his info from the Shapers. I'm thinking half the knowledge that he got is probably from the Shapers. The Shapers are a hugely influential culture.
Understood.
The gods exist, but we don't know exactly what the gods are. The gods could actually be gods, or it could be something completely new. We don't really know. That's one of the biggest mysteries of this. What are the gods? Because you meet Neatholf. Neatholf actually exists. So does every single one of the other gods. But then the question becomes, what are the gods? And that's the biggest mystery. We don't know. The gods could just be very powerful entities.
Undead.
Or they could actually be gods. Aeonir could just be a very powerful entity. And they're exerting their will upon this plane. That could be the simplest explanation.
Fine.
And the correct one. However, could be the exact opposite too. It could actually be gods. And that would be the scariest part. Because supposedly the gods made a bunch of people. Okay. Don't know what that does. Looks like a portal to nothing. Cool.
That way?
So I either have two predictions. One, Tahar was created. That was his ultimate thing. Or two, Tahar is... Well, there's a few different possibilities from what they're leading on and foreshadowing. One, Tahar is an experiment. Two, Tahar is the daughter of a Shaper. Meaning... Yeah. Three, Tahar is the why am I saying daughter? Is the son of one of the constructs. He got a construct to work, fully living body, had sex with it, and Tahar was the offspring. He was hoping for something different, and that's what came out was Tahar, hence the disgust. And cutscene. I searched everything out. I still have no idea where that teleportation thing leads. I am so tired.
Bye. That's impossible.
Do you know this thing?
It looks like someone I knew. Back from when I was still fighting for my father.
So she was a rebel.
She defied my father, same as I. That's why he killed her.
Whatever she was before, she is a revenant now. In other words, she's dangerous.
Of course. A ghost seeking closure.
I've seen my share of undead, but this is new. What exactly is that? A revenant?
A wraith, or a Yalkadara, as the orcs call it. When a person dies with an unfulfilled desire, a scourge, that person may return to the world as a revenant, with the purpose of finding closure. It's a fascinating magical phenomenon.
Huh. She doesn't seem to be aware of us.
It. And no, it isn't. Revenants are guided by raw emotion and magical auras, rather than sight, touch, or hearing.
Sorry about that. I had to blow my nose.
If a revenant is a ghost seeking closure, she's here for Asamo, for revenge.
Probably. I think we...
Isamo,
By the light.
you took me, Tahar. You took me. You took Zane. You took your own child. But it's over now. I found you.
I believe it thinks you are Asamo. This isn't good.
Helena, I...
No!
It's
Helena.
over. She's dead.
She has been for a long time, Tahar. I don't know what she meant to you, but this creature wasn't your friend.
Will she come back? As another revenant?
Revenants only return once. If not, this world would be haunted by thousands of them. She's with the light now.
I don't understand why she thought I was him.
It doesn't mean anything. A Revenant's mind, if you can call it that, doesn't work like ours. It only reacts to raw emotions and auras. She must have seen the semblance between yours and your father's.
Let's just move on.
Well, that makes sense, but...
Books, books, books. Did my father read all these?
Unlikely.
Unlikely. He could have. Depends. There are quite a few liches in this game, actually.
Let's see.
Liches are extremely powerful.
Interesting.
And annoying as hell.
Will do.
White hood of focus.
Let's see.
Stop blocking me, beaches. Cool. So, should give that to someone else, but take. Give.
Yes?
As soon as I find one for the warrior, I'll switch it.
You read my mind.
But my main character.
Danger up ahead.
On every map, you'll find either A, pieces to artifacts, or B, an artifact. I'm doing it mainly because it gives me a lot of focus. I need more willpower then. But, yeah.
As you want.
Does he not know who his mother is? He could also be a clone. That is a possibility. Dude was working with his own genetic. He's blood magic to make a clone of himself. Blood magic in this game is super old, and rarely anyone ever knows how to use it.
That's the way.
It was one of the few things that the Shapers really knew well. It's how they actually created people. They didn't create fully sentient people. They created drones. So...
Do you hear that?
The Song of the White.
Yes, but it's clearer. It seems to be coming from down that hallway.
Then we know where we have to go.
Of course.
It's someone singing out their pain and misfortune. That's all it is.
The song. It has stopped.
Indeed. Incredible. All this energy. I've never felt anything like it.
Neither have I. Whatever is behind that door, it's the key to this dungeon's secret.
Any thoughts? We have no idea what to expect, so we should stay closely together.
No.
I'm sorry?
Whatever is in there, you, the pariah, needs to face it alone. It's what I saw in the vision, and thus, it's Aenir's will.
Isn't this exactly what we should not do? Split up?
I do not know. I'm just his servant. It doesn't matter. It's the Allfather's will, and we will obey.
What do you guys think? I'm gonna try it out. Both ways, which is why I'm saving right now.
I don't like this.
Have you lost your mind? No way.
What do you want me to do? There's purity priests all over the fortress.
Wise words.
All right. Then let's get this over with. Just stay put. I'll be back. No turning back now.
There's been a few people that have...
Tiara's breath.
Few people.
My child. Finally.
What is this? Who are you?
Your mother. I'm your mother.
Wait. You? Say that again?
I'm your mother. You are the blood of my blood. My child. My son. And you finally come. You've come to save me.
I don't understand.
I'm your mother. The quiet man, Isamo. He molded you from my blood. And after all this time, you finally heard me. Please, child, sit down. I believe we have a lot to talk about.
She's a shaper.
You are silent.
Yes. I'm sorry. All this, A lot to take in.
Oops, sorry.
I feel the same way. All those years I've spent in this slumber, only to wake up and be experimented upon by your father. To be given a child in some grotesque, unholy ritual. I still wonder if this is really happening. Or maybe
It's happening.
just a strange
She's a shaper.
dream.
I'm afraid it isn't.
There's been a few Shapers that actually survived the downfall. The Shapers that were touched by the Archfire were the most powerful. So what happened with them is they found ways to survive. They put themselves in a magically induced slumber and hid somewhere.
Why is it that you call Isamo the Quiet Man?
Well, I did not know his true name until years after my awakening. And before that, he hardly spoke. So this is what my mind always called him.
So, you've been in this stasis until I came here, and I somehow set you free?
I was awake, but at the same time I wasn't. Whatever the Quiet Man did after he woke me, it left me in this haze. I didn't see, I couldn't move, but I could hear, and I could feel.
That must have been horrible.
It was, and there were times where I just wished that he would finally end it.
Why can I
Well,
understand
she's...
you? We don't speak the same tongue, do we?
We don't know, but you joined your spirit to the Nexus, didn't you? Our minds are connected. Thus, I can hear you, and you can hear me.
You said that my father created me. What is that supposed to mean?
I am not sure if I can even give you an answer to that. But I will try to explain. See, my child, the Quiet Man, Isamo, I do not think he ever considered me a living being. What he saw me as was a tool to the Essence.
The essence?
The source of all magic. Your father's race, they are only able to access a glimpse, a twinkle from an endless sea. We, the Zalon were different. We have always been closer to the Essence. We had understood how to harness it, and that had made us powerful.
So, the essence is the place all magic comes from.
Yes,
The
but
Allfire.
there were and probably are many names for it. The Essence is only what my people called it.
Did you ever try to resist? To break free?
Of course, but it was pointless. I could not speak and I could not move, and even my magic could not aid me.
So, you're saying that my father wanted to use you to gain access to this essence?
Yes, he was obsessed with the idea of gaining power, and to him, I was the key. But what he was trying to do, transferring my aura, my powers onto himself, was impossible, and he realized that quickly.
Why was it impossible?
Because an aura is as unique as a person's eyes or their fingertip skin. It cannot simply be put on and off like a helmet or a glove, and it dies with its owner.
Which is why he tried to find another way to gain access to your powers.
Yes, he tried transferring my energy to a talisman, to these flesh creatures he created, and countless other ways, but it was all in vain. These experiments went on for years, and even though I couldn't see and couldn't speak, I felt it all. Then he created you. His train of thought was simple. If my aura could not be transferred, it could be passed on. onto my offspring.
But how is that even possible? A shaper and a human?
It is possible. The way we conceive, how we bring forth new life, it is different from what you are used to.
How?
It's complicated, and I do not want to talk about it with my own child. What matters is it worked. Down here, on this altar, I gave life to you, to my first and only child.
Damn.
I'm sorry. This is a lot to take in.
I understand. Believe me, I do. All those years, I had wondered how it would feel to finally meet you. About what you would look like, and all the things I tell you. But now that you're here, it feels surreal. As if all this is just an illusion. A mirage.
So this is where the nightmare comes from, isn't it?
What nightmare?
Ever since I was a child, I had these dreams. I think I saw this place, the creatures my father created. The images, they were so vivid, so real. But whenever I told Isamo about them, he just shrugged it off. I always felt they were connected to something that had happened a long time ago. Now I know.
Yes, that is possible. Quite often, our dreams remind us of the things we have long forgotten.
So I am half shaper. How come it doesn't show?
Once again, this has to do with the way we conceive, but I do not want to talk about it. I hope you understand.
What happened then? What did Isamo do?
He took you away. For what purpose, I do not know. But it is evident that it did not work. Even through you, he could not obtain access to the essence. As for what happened afterward, that is a question you are more fit to answer than I am. And once you free me, I want you to tell me all.
I still can't believe you're a shaper.
Shaper. That's how the Quiet Man called me too. We called ourselves the Zarlunde.
I know, but how is it possible that you're still alive? I thought you were extinct.
Yes, so it seems. I was unaware of this until the Quiet Man told me.
But how did your people die? And how did you survive?
I do not know how my people died. Believe me, child, I have spent a long time wondering. As for your second question, it is a long story. I was one of the Yulas caste, the scientists, the scholars, the priests, and like many other Zalundeb at that time, I was taken by the Scourge.
The Scourge?
A disease. It had been ravaging through our empire for over a decade at that time. It ate us up from the inside.
Most scholars who studied your people firmly believed that the Shapers had cured the world of all diseases.
Then they are wrong. We had found cures for many of them, yes. But even these were often only for the Yulas and the Zavas, the ruling castes. And there was no cure for the Scourge.
But you survived. How?
Through a ritual, an experiment. The idea was to freeze my body until a cure would be found. Looking back, I wonder why I was so eager to keep living. I was just a power-hungry woman who had no one to mourn her death. By the face of time, it's strange to tell you this. Millennia have passed, but some of the memories are still so lively, so real.
How old were you when the Scourge infected you?
90 years. Half my lifespan was already gone.
They lived to be 180. Damn.
I still fight, but the Scourge...
And it ate us up from the...
But
Look,
so you were a mage?
a member of the priest caste, yes. But this is not the time to share memories. Once we are free from this place, we will have all the time in the world to talk. And we will talk. There are so many things I need to know. About this world. About you.
The Zarlan Thep were one of the first races in EO. So there are primarily 3 main races in EO that started out. The Zarlan Thep, the Drug, and dragons. So what really ended the Zarlan Thep was dragons. Dragons destroyed them because one guy became super obsessed with... The easiest way to explain it is just became super obsessed and wanted to control all, which was the leader of the Shapers at the time. He was connected to the Allfire, which is the font of all magic. Now, the issue with doing that is there are things that can actually kill you with the Allfire.
I still...
Yeah.
But...
I would...
The Scourge?
It ate us up. Look,
Then the experiment worked?
so it seems. Only that when I woke up, I was here, bound to that altar, looking into the quiet man's eyes. Our minds do not seem to be so different. So I believe you can imagine how I felt. It was terrifying, like a nightmare, one that would never stop.
Basically, at the end of, so, the dragons and the Allfire are 2 opposing constants of magic. The Allfire is the magic of the land, and the dragons is the magic of, well, everything else. So, the Shaikan cannot actually harness the Allfire, because it will kill them. So, to save the world from the leader of the Shapers, that guy is a complete dick and got all the Shapers killed because of what he did, which pissed off the dragons, and the dragons killed him. They fought a huge war, lost tons of them, killed the Shapers. The Shaikan serve dragons, by the way. They are blood of dragons. The dragons gave their blood to humans, and, yeah, created a race called the Shaikan. They actually have blood magic. It can res people from being dead. The Shaikan dragons practice like ancient types of magic. Very ancient. So did the Shapers. They had 2 opposing sides, though. It's like with black and white magic. You cannot have 2. So your main character at the end of, not the Spellforce 2, but the expansion, Dragon Wars, uses the Allfire to kill the Shaper King. And once he does that, he also dies himself. Your character literally sacrifices his life to kill the worst threat to the world. And does it. And then becomes a dragon. Because badass. He flies, and now your main character flies around the sky protecting EO. Dragons are actually a protective force for the world. The Guardians could have actually been dragons. And they could have actually created the other races. It's very possible. Hell, there's actually a few different types of elves. There's Norcane, which are dark elves. There's regular elves. And then there are actually ice elves. The ice elves actually have a contract because of one of the first elves, because also one of the other dragons is super powerful. So the dragon that's super powerful is an ice dragon. He could literally plunge the whole world into never-ending frost. Literally. That's how powerful the dragon is. They're ancient magic. So, someone's actually listening to this. Okay, so one of the things with that dragon, though, is, like, he may be super powerful, but he fell in love with one of the first elves that walked the land. Literally the queen of all the elves. The firstborn of the elf. He fell in love with her. She lives forever. There's also a dwarf that was the first dwarf, and he lives forever. Most of the races are actually created by gods. All these races are created by the gods. So they're new. The Shapers didn't believe in the gods. Not that I think of. I think they were the first race. They were the first race that we know of. Just like the dragons and that. But that dragon fell in love with her, and they made a deal. So the ice elves are literally connected to that dragon's source of power because of the queen sacrificing herself and keeping the dragon in slumber because of her beautiful music. Part of a expansion in the first game. Beautifully done. Hard as fuck expansion. I still need to beat the other expansion. Should do that at some point. But no, there is a lot of things people don't realize. Like, this game series has a long, hugely in-depth, and so far, people might be saying, oh, this is not a real Spellforce game. It's a new take on a Spellforce. But it's still a Spellforce, actually. They're actually using lore. Actual lore of the game. So they haven't changed the lore that much. This is before the Convocation Wars. You're actually finding all of the circle mages, which is interesting. So yeah, there's interesting things.
What exactly happened when I touched your hand earlier? How did I wake you?
You don't know.
How should I?
Yes, how should you? I am sorry, child. For some reason, I continue to expect you to know all those things I would have taught you if things had been different. You see, a Shaper does not always have that connection to the essence the Quiet Man was looking for. When they come of age, there is an event called the melding. The child, guided by her creators, unlocks the potential slumbering within. Your father, he did not know this, which is why you could never give him what he wanted.
So this is what happened? You performed this ritual on me?
It's less of a ritual, but something that happens with age. It would have happened far earlier if we had not been separated. But yes, by taking my hand, we melded, and the energy that was set free also lifted my curse. Or at least parts of it. I am still unable to move.
But what does that mean? That I can now access the essence?
No. The melding only provides the child with a key. Finding the door is a lifelong quest. But yes, deep down inside you have unlocked something. A potential for the enormous power Isamu had been looking for.
But I still don't understand. What is the story behind that song? You said that you called out to me so that I could find and save you.
Yes, I have done nothing else since your father took you from me. But it was only a short time ago that I finally started to feel that I could sense your presence somewhere out there. Thus, I tried to focus my thoughts onto you and sent them out into the world. Telepathy, as you call it. The song must have been the way the dark corners of my mind expressed my emotions.
The dark corners of your mind? What do you mean by that?
Well, every spirit has two sides. One that the mind can see, and the other one that remains hidden. If the visible one is a puddle, the invisible is an endless sea.
My father died a year ago. Could this be the reason that we only started hearing the song 6 moons ago?
He is Dead?
Yes. He started a rebellion against our kingdom and fell in the final battle.
I see. I always knew it would come to that, you know. His hunger, this glare in his eyes. I knew it would consume him eventually.
How does that make you feel?
That is a good question. I do not know. I expected to feel relief, joy, triumph even. But instead, I feel nothing.
So his death broke whatever spell he had imposed on you. And because of that, your telepathy finally carried through the walls of this place.
That is the only explanation. Yes.
So it was telepathy. But how come only certain people heard you? Only mages?
Is it not obvious? Because having magic means standing close to the essence. And only those who stand close are receptive to my telepathy. I did not know the form my thoughts would take on, but it seems that for us, it was a song. One that finally led you here to free your mother from her suffering. There is poetry in that, isn't there?
I think there's something you don't know.
What do you mean?
Your song. It was lethal to everybody who wasn't gifted with magic. I don't know how to say this, but people died. Lots of people. This is why I'm here. To end the bloodburn, as we've started to call it.
Bloodburn? The name of the sun. I didn't know.
I just don't understand. Why did the song kill people without magic? How is this possible?
I don't know. Maybe it was too much for their minds to bear. Forgive me, I don't know what to say.
But it's over now, isn't it? I found you.
Yes, it should be, but... Oh, please, you have to believe me. I didn't know. All I wanted was to have you back. To... Wait. There's someone here.
What are you... No!
I'm sorry. It was necessary.
What did you do?
What do you think? I fulfilled Aener's prophecy. Searching for a cure, the pariah seeks the truth. A lost mother will be found and awoken from her slumber, and thus allows me to receive her essence.
You knew about this? You knew about my mother?
Yes, I did. I knew that the bloodburn was caused by a Shaper mother looking for her lost child. But what I didn't know was where to find her. So I had to find the child instead. Which I did. The pariah. Though I certainly did not expect it to be Asamo Tahar's son.
But why? What for?
Isn't it obvious? Because I needed her essence. The key to the Archfire, as we call it. Through its power, I will be able to open the gates and to allow Aenir to return. I'm sorry, Tahar. Your mother, she will now serve the greater good. I hope you understand.
Understand? You bloody killed her!
She is not dead. Her body may be, but not her mind. Inside that amulet, she's still alive. It's what your father had always tried to accomplish, but never did.
Where are the others? What did you do to them?
Put to sleep. Don't worry, I didn't kill them.
If you...
I did not kill them. As defilers, they will be put to justice, but that has not been done yet.
I don't get it. You did all this only to get access to
Yeah,
the
I knew he
essence?
was a
To
dick.
the Archfire?
No. The bloodburn had to be stopped. Unlike what you might believe, I do care about the people of Io, just as the Old Father cares about all of his children. So I stopped it, as Aenir ordered me to. But he also told me something else. That purifying the world, freeing it from defilers, and making people see their sins is only the first step. The second one requires power. A lot of it.
Why?
It's called the opening of the gates. A rift. A portal, one through which Aenir can step back into this world. And this is what he chose me for, his most loyal servant.
The
He
Shapers are
needed the
directly connected
Archfire's
to the
power,
Archfire.
and he knew the Pariah and his mother were the key.
Give me that amulet now, or I'll take it from your dead body.
No, I will not. Your mother is what we should all be, a tool of the All-Father. Either way, there's no point in explaining. Your role in this ends here. Once
It
again,
is good.
I am truly sorry.
If you
The
want an
All-Father's visions were
explanation
clear.
for shit, I
Pariah
can.
needs to die after the mother has been found.
But I helped you, for heck's sake. I'm the only
I can
reason
explain
you're
a bunch
here.
of stuff for
I
you.
know you are, but it's the All-Father's will. Just try to see it as the honor it is. Many of my scions would have given a lot to play such a pivotal role in Aenir's return.
I'm gonna kill this
You
asshole.
will die, here and now.
I'd love to see you try.
You will.
Come on. Bring it.
Why do you resist? It's pointless. No,
It's over, Lycain.
No. Believe me, it isn't. Time to put your mother's magic to the test.
What the? What is this?
I'm not gonna die yet. Well, that guy's a dick. Figured. And I'm back in the...
Melon's reins. Hey, quick, over here. Yes, yes, just like that. Stay with us, Corporal. Stay with us.
What's the matter? What happened?
Tahar's awake.
Lord Marshal Arendir. What in blazes are you doing here?
It's a long story. But I'm here as an ally.
Yes, and there will be plenty of time for the lengthy explanations later. First, I want to know how you're feeling, Tahar. Sorry to say it like this, but you look like shit.
Charming as always. But I'm fine. Just dizzy. What happened? I just remember Lycain. And my mother.
Your mother? You mean the Shaper?
Yes. It's hard to explain. She was in some kind of stasis when my father found her, and my father used her for his experiments. I don't know how to say this, but the bloodburn, it was her doing. When my father died, she tried to call out to me by telepathy. That's what caused the plague.
All right.
And the game
I
is
think his
good.
head wound is worse than we thought.
It's the truth, Iria. And Lycain didn't only want me to stop the bloodburn. He needed me to lead him to my mother, so he could use her as a source for the Archfire.
Well, that's a lot to take in, I guess. But why your mother? You're speaking metaphorically, right?
I'm not. She is my mother.
All right. Start over from the beginning. What happened when you walked into that chamber? I'm sorry, but that sounds absurd. Utterly absurd.
Well, I doubt he's lying, King Regent. And actually, it makes sense. It explains a lot, for example, why he could activate the portals, enter Mullendir, and why he had this vision. Though I have to admit, it's not what I expected from our little trip to the Eye. Not at all.
Speaking of which, how did we get out of that dungeon?
Well, as you know, I was unconscious too, so I can only tell you what the soldiers told me. But after that explosion, it was as if the skies had started raining fire. Lycain's soldiers panicked and rushed into the dungeon to save him. It must have also alarmed our troops who were waiting at the borders. They marched in and used the confusion to get us out too. I mean, at the time, the Purity still thought we were allies and vice versa. In other words, we got lucky.
Apparently. But why in blazes are you here, Lord Marshal? And how long was I out for?
It's just anger now. I think we've moved past the titles. And to answer your question, you were out for 5 weeks.
5 weeks?
Yes. To be honest, if your vital signs hadn't remained steady, we would have assumed you were dead.
Which leads us to your mother. You mentioned something about Lacane banishing her into some kind of amulet?
Yes. He somehow absorbed her spirit to gain access to the Archfire. That's what my father always tried, and why he created me in the first place.
And I assume, by Archfire, you're talking about some extremely powerful source of magic.
The source of all magic, yes.
So the theories are true. Well, at least now we have an explanation.
An explanation of what?
Well, the Harbinger has gone rampant. Briefly put, the Purity of Light has taken over almost all of Leonida. The Eye, Greyfell, Greykeep, everything.
Greykeep? How is that possible?
They were already in the keep when Lacane gave the order, and we simply didn't expect it. It wasn't even a fight. It was a massacre. And yes, I know what you're about to say. That it's my fault, because I tolerated the Purity in the first place. And you're right. I've made mistakes, and hundreds, thousands of people had to pay the price.
What about the Queen? Is she...
She's alive. The Harbinger knows he can't kill her, because if he does and word gets out, then he might lose the common folk's support. According to our spies, the Queen's Guard and the Purity have struck some kind of bargain.
Wait, so the Purity controls the keep, and the Queen's Guard just plays along?
Yes, it sounds absurd, I know. But the Queen's Guard first responsibility lies with the safety of the Queen. Whatever is necessary to protect her, they do it. Though I doubt Lacane's long-term plan sees the Queen at his side, which is just another reason to hurry.
And he's wielding the power of the Archfire?
Some incredibly powerful form of magic, yes. And it adds up. He absorbed your mother's spirit, and it allows him to do the things he now does.
But why? Why start a war against all of Northander?
To prepare Io for the arrival of Aeonir. You remember that nonsense his priests always preach? How we're the reason that Aeonir left us?
Yes. That's why they want to clear the world of sin and mages. Of defilers.
Well, it seems that they've spiced up their idea a little since it was taking too long. It's not just mages they kill anymore, but everybody who doesn't convert to their religion. Soldiers, women, men. They all get to choose. Join the Purity and accept the light, or be killed on the spot.
I knew it would come to this.
Didn't we all?
Be that as it may, your recovery couldn't be more timely.
What about the charges? Do you still consider me a traitor?
Is that still important?
It is to me.
That's very honorable of you, Tahar. Given the recent events, your sentence has been lifted. You are pardoned. And if that is your wish, you can be reinstated as a corporal of the Northander army. That, and my apology, is all I can offer.
So you acknowledge that your verdict was a mistake?
I don't think this is something we should discuss now. We can talk about it later. Do you accept my offer?
That would mean a lot.
Good. However, we cannot make this official until Greykeep is reclaimed.
How did you even get here?
Later, Tar. I'll tell you all you want to know, but not now.
For what it's worth, the encounter with my mother also changed something in me. I feel... different.
Elaborate.
Well, when I awoke my mother, it did something to me. She called this the melding.
Less fancy words, please. What did it do?
Well, I think it allows me to control a part of the Archfire too. Just like the Harbinger does.
Finally, some good news.
Indeed. Anything that can help us battle Lacane will help. But whatever it is, I doubt it will allow us to stop Lacane with a thought alone. Or will it?
No. I'm still trying to figure out what exactly it changed.
I see.
Since you saved me from the dungeon, what about my mother's body? Is she...
She's here in the Nexus. We saved her, but she seems to be in some kind of a coma. For a while we thought it was the same as your condition, but now that you've told us the full story, it makes sense. Her body is still functioning, but Lacane has stolen her spirit.
I was wondering what that body was there.
Then we need to save her.
If she can be saved. But yes,
She's a
maybe we can
shaper.
get our chance sooner than expected. Lacane is marching towards us as we speak.
Come again?
He knows where we are, and he's planning an attack on the city. He might arrive today or tomorrow, but soon, which is why we need to.
He's here.
Lord Marshal.
Speaking of Nor.
The Purity. They are here, as you said. What are your orders, sir?
Put up defenses all around the perimeter and protect the Nexus at all cost. How many are they?
Hundreds, sir. And House Utran is supporting them too. Your sister is leading them.
Myra?
I'm afraid so.
Wait, you're saying that House Utran is working for the Purity of Light now? And they're led by Lady Myra Utran?
As I said, yes. It could be anything, though. Maybe Lacane forced her to comply.
Then make sure that she does not get harmed. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Good. There needs to be an explanation for this. Either way, we need to fend them off. Tahar, are you able to fight?
I think so. Yes.
Good. Then you're back in charge. Let's head out.
Okay, give me a second. Winds of Darkness, Obliterate, Devour Soul. Oh my god, I love this. Discipline, Guardian's Wrath, Ellen's Blessing. What? Really? Guardian's Wrath, Creative Vortex. Avatar's Wrath, temporarily... That's actually not a bad one. Archery, Murderous Fervor. Empyrean Crossbow. That's kind of cool. Barrage. Huh. Leadership, create food, create wood, and create stone. Brutality, Winds of Darkness. That's cool. Scales with my weapon. So that's cool. Obliterate I like. Costs health instead of focus. Okay, that's beautiful. Because I'm gonna go brutality, because I'm gonna brutally murder them. I'm guessing I'll get to unlock all of these at some point. Look at this. I'm getting Obliterate next. Oh my god, it has 3 levels now? What's the next level do? Cool. 2-handers. Oof. Oh my god, deal siege damage? And becoming... Oh my god. Getting that. Okay, I need to look through a lot of things now. Oh, this is beautiful. Love it. Wonder what the next one of this is. Death Blow. Instantly kills targets that are stunned and below 20% health. Cool. I think... But I need to get down here. Okay. Can I talk to people, or are they all gone right now? Mother. They're all gone. So I have to go fight. We have armies here, and they're not going to be easy to kill. By the way, Mama just killed a man. She put a gun against her head, pulled the trigger, now she's dead. Mama, life has just begun. Sorry. Could put out me singing at some point. I'm told I have a good voice. Upgrade his crap, though. I'll do that in a bit. I'll do that after all this is done. Get him upgraded as best as I can. He'll be way more powerful, which is good. First thing I'll do is get that. Then I'll upgrade those, and then I'll work on getting lower. What I might do, however, is that. Ooh. Could redistribute shit right now.
Got it.
Might do it. I do like the whirlwind. Probably actually, after this is done, I might actually redistribute points for my main character. I like it how easy that guy was to kill. He's like, I'm so powerful, you'll never be able to beat me, just let yourself die. No, that's never my style in any game. Let yourself be killed. I will destroy you. I'll sacrifice myself for the betterment of the world, but
Blazes.
I will not.
Battle noises. They're already inside.
They are. Come, let's go get an overview.
Yes?
Czar. Hey, orcs. Scion thinks they can do anything they want.
What do we need?
I'm a mage, bitch. I am the most powerful mage. The circle of mages all get access to the Archfire. I'm guessing it's through me. I don't know what happens to my character. I could just leave myself.
Reigns. This doesn't look good.
Tahar, you're awake.
He is, and he has got some interesting stories to tell.
But they'll have to wait. Where are Isgrim and Gore?
I don't know. They weren't in the Nexus when the fight broke out. I'd say they've taken matters into their own hands.
What are your orders, Tahar? This doesn't look good.
We have to seal the entrances. If they breach through either one of them, we're done with.
Then we need to split up. I'll get some of my men and make a stand in the southwest.
Then I'll take over the northwest. That's the hardest one for them to reach, so chances are they still haven't made it.
Then we'll help you.
Good. And Tahar, if what that scout said is true, and House Utran is really part of this attack, don't harm her. I know my sister, and this does not make any sense at all. There must be a reason for all of this.
I didn't even know Lady Utran is your sister.
I don't blame you. Northander politics and family bonds are complicated, but yes, she is my sister. And since her husband, Lord Rickard Utran, died, she's the ruler of the Utran lands, which makes this development as dangerous as it's bizarre. The fact that House Leonidas is supporting the Harbinger is bad enough.
I'll do my best. Good luck, Angar. We'll come to your help once the other entrances are secured.
Do that. Nihalth guide your sword, Tahar.
She needs Guardian's Grace. Zark's Drill, and Disorienting Dagger. What else does she use? Sorry, primal magic. Okay, so that's all he can do. And for white magic, and that. That's all he gets. 2 points. Intelligence and willpower. I'll go hope is Grim first. Still have to get the dwarves on my side.
What's next?
I've said it before and I'll say it again. Stay where you are. These things aren't just here for bugger and blast. You just had to find out for yourself, didn't you?
Isamo's my tank. He's very tough. He'll become even tougher soon. Isgrim is my tank. Usually. We have armies here. You're really gonna attack us. Are you that stupid? I'll go up here quickly and secure this.
I'll explain later.
What's my newest invention? Or to be more precise, my newly recovered shaper tech.
Death Tower.
Yeah. While you were asleep, I did some more research, though they won't hold forever. And my gut tells me the Utrans are up to something.
So it's true.
Yeah, and quite viciously so. In other words, you're,
What do you suggest?
Well, as you know, I'm not the best at tacticians, but from what I saw, the attacks are currently... If we stay here and make sure no one gets through, you could take out those commanders.
Got it.
Good. Nihalf, guide your blade, friend.
Understood.
Tahar, did you deal with those commanders yet?
No, I'm on it.
Good.
I'll be back. Just protect that entrance. There's back ways to them. Yeah. They don't even know about. Damn it. They're back this way. He's tough. Isgrim will be fine. Could just send my main in. He's pretty tough.
Corporal? As you require.
Will do.
Let's see what we
It
can
will be
do.
bloody.
Don't worry, I'm going in. I can take it. I have 2 people here and they're both tough.
Whatever's necessary.
Yes.
I need more time.
I'm injured.
Heal yourself then. Wrath of Elements. Chain Lightning.
Good. Now let's find the other one. I'm injured.
Don't worry, I'll get you up after. Oh yeah, I gave her that on purpose.
Blazes! That's Lady Myra Utran. We need to help Iskrim.
Die already! All right, one more step, I'm gonna slit my throat.
Lady Mira, what?
Shut up!
Tell me one reason I shouldn't kill you.
Let me think. How about the fact that if I die, the Utran lands will fall into chaos and you'll have another civil war at hand?
Not to mention that the poor, precious Lord Marshal would be heartbroken.
I hate to say it, but she's right. We cannot let her die.
But I don't understand. Why did you betray the crown?
Explain yourself. Oh, Tahar, you must understand the situation. So here's what's gonna happen. You will let me walk away.
Lady Mira, what?
You heard me. So, Tahar, what shall it be?
I'm gonna save here and make a choice. I'm gonna say you're bluffing. So that guy was like I thought he was. He preached good things and then...
You're bluffed.
Try me.
Fine.
Huh. One more thing, though.
What?
You will repent. All of you.
Niehaus hammer. What? I mean, what was that?
I have absolutely no idea.
That is...
About what happened?
Yeah. But let's talk about that later.
I'm on it. We'll meet at the next course.
Thank you again, Tahar.
Uram, go help the south entrance. You're a fucking bloody demonologist. I still need Hokan Ashir. And Shar. I'll have to go search around again. Well, I mean, kill things. But I have to search around to find everything I can kill. It's cool. So what is this now? A devourer. No, just a regular one? That's it?
Zarek's fangs. Top blazes, it is you. Last time I saw you, you were lying on that stone bed like a bloody corpse.
That's about how I felt when I woke up. What's the situation? I don't see any Purity men around here.
No, not Purity, but someone else. According to my scout, they're gathering their forces down that valley. My gut tells me they're waiting for reinforcements.
If it's not the Purity, who are we dealing with? Another one of the royal houses?
No, I don't think so. To me, they look like bandits. But they're fighting under Aeonir's banner. And the man my K-Ran hunt...
The Bane. The ones who massacred the Nortander outpost in Leafshade.
Huh. Yeah.
Damn it.
Well, now that you're here, I say you move out and crush them. We'll hold...
Simple enough. All right then. Move out.
Alright, I can crush the Bane.
What now? The southwest, the southeast, and the northeastern entrance are still undefended.
Then we need to take care of them.
Fine.
And this is why I like the orcs. Orcs have mass AoE. Ugh.
Healing. Healing.
Get healing. Heal yourself then.
The fabled pariah. Interesting. I thought you were dead.
Why are you doing this? Throwing your lives away for some deluded madmen.
Deluded? You're confusing something, Tahar. It wasn't always like that, you know. A long time ago, this world was a world of peace, and now look where we stand. Our history is a testament to but that era has come to an end. We will make the world pure again and make it—
You're fanatics.
On the contrary.
Yes.
bad, Tahar. Not bad.
Any last words?
Yeah. Listen.
What the?
Go after me and lose your city and your friend, or save them and let me go. Your choice.
She got away.
No time to go after her. We need to secure the entrance. We'll make short work of them.
I'm injured.
Your struggle is pointless.
Anything on your mind?
Oofta.
A trap. I should have seen that.
Their leader got away.
I figured. But it won't be them. What about the rest of the city?
Yes, I know. We'll take care of it.
Understood. Don't doubt.
I'll do my best.
There's still 2 entrances we haven't covered yet.
While I'm on my way down here, I'll get him equipped, Rohan equipped. Everyone else is decently equipped. Rohan's the only one that's actually not equipped. Light armor of the snake. Damn it, he needs more dex. Helm. We'll give you that helm. You're not able to use the shield because you don't have enough con. Damn. Actually, you might be able to. I might have some. What the hell am I thinking? I haven't even gone through all the crap I have gotten. It's a spear one-handed. Damn it. Make him a bit tougher. Okay. I need to get his dex up. If he's going to be a spear and shield user, he needs more. Like, the thing about him, though, is he could actually be a tank. A mage tank, but a tank.
Tahar, you're awake.
Shit. So they've already breached the outer walls.
They will soon. That masked thing on the other side.
Drain.
Yeah.
Iria!
Don't worry, I'll kill it.
Blazes, what kind of magic is that? Ready yourself, Tahar!
They will burn.
Yeah, don't worry, he's gonna die.
One down!
Not the real one.
I'm injured.
Ellen's reins.
The barrier gave up.
Blazes. For someone who just came back from the dead, you're in good shape. What about that masked fellow? Where is he?
We've taken care of him. At least for...
No, just seems like Scryer Elion got...
Can you take care of her? We have to make sure the other entrances are safe.
Yes. I'll get her to the Nexus as quick as possible. Be careful, Corporal. I have a feeling that masked priest wasn't Lakane's only ace up the sleeve.
Probably not. Almost through. Just one more entrance to go.
All the more reason to hurry.
Yes.
Kinda wish I had Char instead. Just curious.
I'll do what's required.
This is going to be the hardest one, so preparing your party is the hardest part. The reason why I gave her that armor is it gives her a way to survive dying. It revives her every time she dies. Good armor for a melee person who is not able to survive. Well.
Are you deaf? I said no! That machine will squash you.
You're here. Good. I assume that means the Northwest is secured.
It is. How about you?
Well, we managed to fend off their first attack. They aren't Purity, though.
What then?
Mercenaries. They don't have a banner, so they could be about anyone. Thing is, they've put up a siege weapon of sorts right up that hill, which prevents us from retaliating.
What kind of weapon?
I don't know. It looks like some kind of catapult, but it seems to be magic-fueled and throws fireballs which cause massive damage. We're out of reach, but the moment we move against their camp, it'll...
Whereas, if you attack the machine directly, the mercenaries themselves will fall into your backs.
Or swarm right into the city, yes. We weren't enough to split up, but now we are.
So you want us to destroy that weapon?
Yes. The moment it is down, we'll go for their strong point.
Understood. Let's get this done.
There are a few secret ways around everything. The fight for Mulandir. It's a tough one. So I'll level soon and I'll be able to get things up. That's up over here. I know where it is. I have to go this way. Which means I'm going to be fighting through things. I really wish it left this explored, because I did explore this.
There it is. Take it down.
Shit! Kill them!
Ah, it's the Deathman. Shit. These guys are tough.
That should do it.
Then we should join Angar. He'll need help with his attack.
Yeah, give me a sec.
Blazes! Help me, somebody! I'm only getting started.
Killed one of our heroes.
I'm injured.
They will fall.
I am ready.
Heal him. My main will go in alone.
This is Commander Katras from Aenir's Deathmen.
So he's fighting for the Purity now.
Corporal Tahar. What a surprise.
Katras, why?
Don't talk, friend. Fight.
You regret this.
What?
I understand.
What? Yeah, I'm trying to secure it.
Let me know what you need.
There we go.
Blazes, Tahar. Now I know why Lakane wants you dead. You really know how to fight.
Why, Katras? Why?
Blazes, you do like your... Look, this isn't personal. Lacane and his fanatics took down my camp and gave me a choice. Repent and accept the light, or have some stern-faced priest ram a bloody pike up me arse. So, unless you have some odd fantasies that I don't want to know about, don't tell me you wouldn't have done the same.
A loyal man wouldn't have.
Well, good thing I never swore loyalty to you or the Empire, isn't it? Don't kid yourself, Lord Marshal. You would have done...
Any lad...
I hate to disappoint, but goodbye, Tahar. Too bad we couldn't be on...
What the...
Tell...
Bloody coward. At least we secured the entrance. What about the rest of the city? Are we safe?
Not yet. Hold your position for now. We'll meet at the Nexus once...
Understood. Tiara's blessings, Tahar.
So many casualties. I just don't understand. We just ended one war. Now the Harbinger starts another.
Human nature, Tahar. People need an enemy. Peace is always fleeting.
Do you really think so?
I do.
What do you mean? She was possessed. This doesn't make any sense.
I'm afraid it does. But again, I have a theory. Let's wait for Tahar.
There you are. I've assigned troops to guard the entrances and double the defenses. If the Harbinger ever strikes again, we'll be prepared.
Good work.
Anyway, there are more important things we need to discuss now. For starters, what, by the Guardians, happened to my sister?
That's a damn good question. Iskrim, you said that you have a theory.
Well, yeah, I do. The rune. While you were asleep, I tinkered with it a little.
You think the rune has something to do with this?
A rune. But it's probably best if I show you. Follow me, Tahar.
I'm coming too.
All right, let's see. Turn around.
Tiara's breath.
Step forward. So, you get the idea.
Mind control.
Yeah. There are still some critical problems with it, and what I've done is far from what the Harbinger did with Lady Moira. But, Tahar, this rune, it has so much potential. If you thought what it does with the Godstones was fascinating, it's just the beginning. The Shapers, the Khazarlanthep, they knew their full potential. And this is the reason they were so powerful. Do you see it now? They...
Have you lost your bloody mind? Stop that! Whatever it is! Stop it now!
What?
Stop it for fuck's sake!
Fine. You're free. Go and take a nap.
Unbelievable. This is unbelievable.
So you actually possessed those men?
No, I mean, yeah, the rune did. Look, Tahar, I know that I was maybe a bit too enthusiastic here, but can't you see the potential? Those soldiers, they do anything you command them to, without batting an eyelid.
They still look hypnotized. Are they free now?
Yeah. It may take a while to recover, but tomorrow they won't remember anything. So it's not that bad. Who knows? Maybe they would have died in the fight if they hadn't been under my control.
Iskrim, this is wrong. Completely, utterly wrong.
All right, just cool your head, will you? I know my way of handling things might not have been optimal, but hey, at least now we know what we're up against. You could at least give me that much credit.
Just never do something like this again. And you think that the Harbinger controls Lady Moira, right?
Yes, and in an extraordinarily powerful way, if I may say so.
Huh. In other words, we need to find a way to break that possession. Right now, House Utran is under the Harbinger's control.
Madness. This is madness.
Whatever it is,
that's not good.
Let's tend to the wounded first. We'll discuss everything else in the Nexus.
Yes. Let's do that.
Well.
All right, let's catch our breath first. Angar, I'll talk to you when I'm ready to discuss the next steps.
Good. I'll be waiting.
Finally. Okay. First things first. Bartering 3. Reason I'm doing bartering 3. Actually, I'm gonna do something else now. Because I'm not an idiot. Okay. Pushing a fresh start. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I believe that's where I was. So we were there, there. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Three. Okay. Actually. That'll be my second one to get. I'll get Winds of Darkness, and then that. Actually, let's see what Devour does. Wait, what? Temporarily gain an aura. Auras are permanent. Wait, what? That turns into an aura. That actually might not be bad. But these two are my... And everyone deals siege damage. Becomes immune. Is always good. And creates additional small whirlwinds around in the vicinity. I think I have an idea. We'll do that, and we'll do that. 2 points. I'm going for survivability, so this will be interesting. Then when I get another point, I'll do that. Hey, it's Grim.
So you made it up? You didn't think I... No. That sleep you were in. I didn't feel that new energy inside you, though. So you can... That's like standing in front of a bonfire. Anyway. You make it sound as though this thing is somehow your responsibility. It isn't. That fanatic with his idiot. So yeah, that's good. Don't mention it. Huh?
How did you become a shapeshifter?
I was chosen.
And how does that work?
Complicated. Are you sure you want to hear the whole story? Time isn't exactly on our side.
It isn't, but the more I know about your abilities, the better. You're fighting for me, after all.
We're not fighting for you, Tahar. We are fighting alongside each other. That's a big difference.
Alongside, then.
Good. Let's make it short, then. Shapeshifting is a gift of Zarek. One that only the best of his shamans are granted.
And how does one become a shaman?
He has to be chosen by a tribe's chieftain. You see, magical talent is a lot rarer among orcs than it is among humans or elves. In my tribe, there was only me and Rain. We both discovered our talent by chance. I, when I was 9, and put out a fire that had broken out in my family's hut. Everybody was asleep. Even the damn fool that had been tasked to stand guard. When I woke up, the entire room was in flames.
So it was your magic that woke you?
No. I needed to take a piss.
Makes sense. What happened then?
I panicked and started screaming, as every child would have. However, the only thing that did was make me inhale the fumes even quicker. My vision blurred and I lost consciousness. When I woke up again, I was on a bed of hay in the village shaman's tent, and everybody was staring at me, as if I was Zarek incarnate. I asked what happened and they told me. Just when I had lost consciousness, it had started to rain. Not just a little. It was a full-fledged storm, a deluge from the skies. With not even a minute, all the tents in the village had been flooded. The fire wasn't extinguished right away, but was quickly put out by the other orcs that had been awoken by the storm.
That's impressive.
Well, it was also my last successful weather ritual. If it hadn't been, Bargagor would be all meadows and forests by now. According to my brothers, I had an orange shimmer in my eyes, and was muttering strange words when they took me to the shaman. She told me that was a clear sign that I was gifted, and that I had fire in my blood, as my tribe likes to say. Of course, it changed my life entirely. All of a sudden, I was my Cal's pride. It was strange, not just for me, but also for my kin.
How did your family take it?
Well, they were proud, but they also weren't sure how to treat me anymore. For example, my father stopped taking me out on the hunt because he was afraid that something might happen, which is ridiculous. Shaman or not, an orc who can't wield a
Most
spear
shamans are some of the best
isn't
fighters
an
in
orc
orcs.
at all. Also, my siblings became withdrawn. Jealousy, of course, but also estrangement. All of a sudden, their baby brother had become this strange being, which had apparently been bitten by Zarek himself.
It's always like that. Being different isolates you.
I guess.
Who trained you? The healer?
Yes, but only about her craft. Primitive ghost callings, alchemy, medicine. I learned my magic from an elder who lived in a tiny shack a 15-mile march from our village. I woke up every day before dawn, walked for 2 hours, served him, and received my lessons. Then returned to my Cal shortly before midnight. It was hard, yes, but it was insightful. Those long walks in the darkness, the solitude at the foot of the mountain where his shack was, they shaped me.
Interesting. And who is this Rain you mentioned earlier?
Did I? Well, that's complicated. I don't want to talk about it.
All right. Regarding this...
No, Tahar. Accept it.
Okay, I'll give you a break on that. I'll talk to everyone else first, including my mother.
Ah, I was hoping you'd come by. That was quite the surprise visit, wasn't it?
I guess you could say that. How's your injury? That blast from the barrier looked quite...
The blast? Oh yeah, sure. I'm as good as new. One of the perks of being a light mage. Tahar, I'm sorry. For everything.
What do you mean?
Well, What you discovered in that dungeon. I didn't see that coming, honestly. I mean, I'd always felt you were different, but an experiment of your father? I would have never guessed. And now that bastard Lacane took your mother. It's just... one tragedy follows another. Now I feel almost ridiculous thinking about my supposed problems.
We can still save her.
Yeah, blazes. How could... Though you'd definitely be the tragic hero in this. And I don't...
Problems are always subjective.
I guess they are. Tell me, Tahar. If you had had the choice, would you have wanted to know? About your mother and how you were born?
Yes. It's always better to know the truth.
Is it? Sometimes I wonder if the truth doesn't just make it all worse. Anyway, Shaper or not, it's good to have you back. Honestly, there were times when I was worried you wouldn't ever wake up again.
Oh yeah, look at my sexiness.
I'm touched.
You better be. Anyway, in case you were wondering, I'm not planning to leave now. If you need my help, I'll be here.
You don't need to stay. You know that, right?
Safer than mage-murdering Lightbringers, right? Look, unless you want me to leave, I'll stay, and I'll fight. And...
Thanks, Iria.
Great. I'll talk to you later.
Sorry, I have to... There we go. Oh yeah, I have to redo my skills. I forgot about that. Perseverance goes over that. Unleash Wrath. Nope. Devour Soul. Because I'll be getting that next anyways.
Corporal? Need anything?
Tell me a bit about your time on the road. What was it like?
Is that a command, Corporal?
Please?
All right, but I'm afraid there isn't so much to tell. Have you ever been on the road by yourself?
A long time ago, yes.
Well, then you know how wearisome it can get. Sleeping under the stars sounds romantic at first, until you realize that most of the time it's sleeping in the mud, in drizzle. Most of the time, your stomach and your purse are empty, and your feet are full of blisters. And, of course, there's the constant danger. Especially if you're traveling on your own.
Did you ever have a companion?
Some, yeah, but most of it was just temporary. Though there was one I traveled with for longer. Quentin.
How did you meet?
Coincidence. A small town between Finn and Mir and Lar. We played dice together and he cheated. When I called him out on it, he tried to turn tail. But one of the other guests stopped him for me. They wanted to go give him a beating, but I told them to stop. He gave me back my money and we started talking. And, believe it or not, we found that we got along quite well.
So you started traveling together? With a thief?
I wouldn't call him that. He was just young and careless. We ended up traveling for almost a year.
I see. What was your relationship?
You mean... no, we were just friends. He was way too young for my liking, and I think I was too old for him. We were more like sister and brother.
What was his story? Where was he headed?
Into the blue, same as me. He had quite an interesting task, but I wouldn't feel comfortable sharing it with you, to be honest. He wouldn't want that.
Huh. So, how did you split up? What happened?
Nothing dramatic. We came by a village and decided to rest there for a while. The roads had become quite dangerous due to the mage wars, and we didn't want to go out unprepared. I did some healing for the villagers, and he helped out the local smith. He liked it, and the smith wanted him as an apprentice, so he stayed. I was surprised and a bit hurt at first, but then I realized it was probably for the better. I still think of him sometimes, though.
Huh. And how did you make a living?
That was the easiest part. I healed people.
With light magic?
Yes and no. It was my magic that mended the wounds, but since mages are often met with suspicion, how shall I say, got a little creative. Frankly put, whenever I treated someone, I gave them a magical potion to drink, which was just water mixed with some harmless herb to give it color. The rest was laying on hands to help the potion's effect, which was pure light magic and how I did the actual healing.
And that worked?
Better than you'd think. People were fighting over my panacea as if I was Ellen incarnate, while cursing the evil defilers who had caused this war. Ironic, isn't it?
Do you miss it sometimes? The vagabond life?
Well, we're still vagabonds somehow, aren't we? But I know what you mean. And yeah, I sometimes do. The wind on my skin, the vastness of the wildlands, and the fact that all you have to think about is the mile ahead of you. It's another world. There was this one night I'll never forget. I had made a camp at a clearing, set up campfire, and I was leaning against a tree, slowly drifting toward sleep. Then, all of a sudden, it started to rain. Not just the usual drizzle, it was bucketing down, drowning everything, the earth, the noise, the plants around me. My first impulse was to jump up, to find shelter, get my things into the dry. But I didn't. Instead, I saw. I don't know how else to put it. All of a sudden, there was this deep sense of peace, as if all my life I had been chasing something without knowing it myself. And in that moment had found it. So I just watched. I sat there and I watched. That feeling lasted until the sun came up. And then I fell asleep. When I woke up, it was gone.
That sounds beautiful.
And a bit dramatic. But yeah, it was beautiful. I've never felt something like that again.
And what do you make of it now?
Truth be told, I don't know. But it changed something. Even though I cannot say what it is.
Tell me...
Is that a command, Corporal? All right. But I'm afraid there isn't... Well, most of the time, your stomach and your purse are... Well, but that feeling lasted until the sun...
And what do you...
Truth be told, I don't know. But it changed something. Even though I cannot say what it is.
Mama just killed a man, put a gun against his head, pulled the trigger, now I'm dead. Mama, life has just begun. Didn't mean to make you cry. If I'm not back again this time tomorrow, carry on, carry on. Nothing really matters. Sorry. That song belongs to Queen and all copyrights belong to them. It's just in my head right now.
She's breathing, but her spirit is gone. Damn you, Lacane.
Understood.
Lacane's a dick! Like, seriously, he thinks that the Archfire is the best method to... He thinks Aeonir wants to return? No, this is probably something much worse. I have a feeling he's gonna summon something and it ain't gonna be. It ain't
to this day
gonna be that.
The Shaper's magical and technological prowess remains unrivaled. One thing is clear.
Just got a feeling. Well, I have a lot of exploring to do again. Gotta kill a bunch of stuff.
Tahar, thank Nihal if you're awake. For a while, I wasn't sure you'd make it. How do you feel? Out on the battlefield, we didn't really get the chance to talk.
I just found out that my mother is a Shaper and that she's still alive. And now Rondar look
bad, I assume. Sorry, it's a tragedy. The purity on the loose, with the power of the Archfire in the Harbinger's hands. Who could have seen that coming? For what it's worth, I'm sorry I had to go through this. I truly am.
I always had my doubts about Lacane. Only I didn't expect this to happen.
I figure.
Be that as it may, all that matters now is that we stop him. What about you, Iskrim? I doubt whatever bargain you struck with Lacane still stands.
You're still here, so I guess you aren't planning on leaving.
Me? No, of course not. Where would I go, Tahar? There's no way of knowing what the Purity would do if they caught me. He wanted to kill you, so maybe Lacane doesn't want to leave any witnesses. Not to mention that we're still in the ancient Shaper city, full of marvels waiting to be discovered.
Well, I'm glad you're able to see it that way.
A frown hasn't helped anyone yet, has it? There's, one more thing I wanted to ask you. It's about your mother. About Andra.
Ask.
I'm not sure how to say this, but she was a Shaper. A living Shaper.
What are you getting at?
All tragedy aside, you have to understand how fascinating this is. A Shaper who survived through the Aeons. And as if that weren't enough, you even turn out to be related. I have so many questions, Tahar, so many questions. Iria said at the moment Andra and you melded, she made you see something. Fragments of her past. Now, I can't help but wonder, what was it? Did you see Mullendir in all its former glory?
I didn't see anything. It's more like I suddenly have that sense of familiarity. Especially here.
But that's even more exciting. She must have transferred some of her memories onto you. I wonder if that's part of this melding ritual. Look, Tahar, I'm not sure how to say this, but how would you feel about it if I examine her? There's so much we could learn from her, even if her mind has left her body.
What do you mean by examine? We're not talking about a dissection, are we?
What? No, of course not.
Why? What are you hoping to gain from that?
You mean apart from being able to examine the body of a living Shaper? There's much we could learn. Maybe we could even find something that helps us fight Lacane.
Iskrim, I just lost my mother. The last thing I want to talk about right...
All right. I understand. Sorry, Tahar. I meant no offense. I think I should get back to work now. I'll see you around.
Do I really have to exit and come back, talk to him again? I guess so. Because he's glitched. So I'm guessing I'm going to be able to unlock more. I guess I'm going to go through 4 different unlocks of that. Which is going to be me.
To this day, the Shaper's
the first one, which
and
is brutality, then
prowess
the
remains
archer,
unrivaled.
and so on, shit like that. So I think I'll get to be able to unlock them all. At least that's what I'm assuming. I can't talk to him?
Yes.
Son of a bitch. Okay, I'll wait till the story progresses, or I can actually leave and do shit.
Got it.
Didn't you head to Everlight, actually? Need to get Shar. Sorry, Shar is a fire mage. Super useful. Then there's also the Piper. Hoken Ashir. I have a lot of the people already, but I'm missing a few. Shar's one of them. Hoken Ashir's one. The Norcanes, both of them I'm missing. I always forget their names. Hoken was human. Also a massive dick. Sorry. Hoken Ashir wanted to rule everything as undead. He viewed death as beauty and wanted everything to be undead. Which, yeah, different story. He's fucking crazy as fuck. Still need to do that one, actually. So after I talk to everyone once, I might try that. Go see what these guys have. I need to go through everything, actually. I'll have to go talk to Rohan anyways, so I'll head up that way.
Yes, Corporal? How can I...
Well,
Why do you want to know?
because I want to know.
Huh. I see. In short, my mother sold me. And after an incident, my owner noticed my talents. Because she needed the coin, and already had 4 children to feed. And as for your...
You're saying...
Slave, I find it...
I just...
Well, now you do.
Even if...
Well...
That doesn't make it better. How do you...
Well, I used to feel strongly about it.
That's...
Is it?
So...
I won't talk about that. This chapter of my past is done, and I want it to stay buried.
To me...
I am. But it should be... So, tell me, Pariah. How did you become the betrayer's child in the first place? It's rare for a child to defy their own father.
He lost his vision. When he started the rebellion, it was about the safety of mages, but he became more and more...
That's admirable. Either way, is there anything else you need? Why do you want to know? Because she needed the coin. So, tell me, Pariah. Either way, is there anything else you need?
Interesting. So, back on you. Do you think you can handle it? Leading the troops, I mean?
Yeah.
Good. At least all that explains why your aura has always felt so strange. You're not human. At least not entirely.
Well, my shape or blood obviously doesn't show. I don't really feel any different than others.
How do you know? You ever been... Either way, we'll find a way to get your mother back. What that fucking bastard did will not go...
So I guess that means you're staying.
Yeah, you guessed right. At least for now. You're not the only one with an interest in seeing the purity of light have their fucking stakes shoved up their own asses. Now we should probably get back to planning. There's plenty of things we need...
Right.
You will.
I like him.
Can you tell me more about your craft?
And why's that? Thinking about a career change?
It's certainly a powerful school of magic. I could see myself dabbling in it.
Well, the moment you start dabbling with it is the moment you enjoy a very painful death. There's a reason demonology is forbidden. Most people who mess with it die. But sure, if you have questions, ask.
Let's start with the basics. What's the core principle of demonology?
It's simple. You study demons and their powers, and bind them to your will. And thus you gain access to their powers. Take a devourer. Once you've studied and subdued her to your will, you can access her strength. And I'm not talking about merely summoning her. You can channel her powers.
How is that supposed to work? Channeling their powers.
Hard to describe. Just imagine that the demon becomes a part of you. You connect it with your magic, so to speak. And when needed, you can call on it to help you. It's not just the power that comes with it. It's also the feeling. Channeling the essence of a Zarek Nar, a tribe eater. It's a feeling that compares to nothing else in this world. You can't understand it till you've done it.
So in order to bind them, you need to beat them in battle, correct?
Well, it's a bit more complicated than that, but yeah. In a nutshell, that's it.
And I'm guessing that's what makes it so dangerous.
Among other things, yes. What can also happen is that your body simply can't handle a demon's unleashed essence. It can cause a brain rupture similar to what these masks the Purity use. And, to be honest, that happens to 8 out of 10 students of demonology. They subdue a demon, get excited, and let all their energy rush in at once. As a result, their brains explode.
Sounds painful.
Awesome.
So, why exactly is demonology forbidden?
Because it's dangerous. And because demonologists can be extremely powerful. More than some members of the ruling caste would like to see.
Is there a limit to how many demons you can bind?
No. If there were, I wouldn't still be traveling after all this time.
Interesting. Thanks for the insight.
Sure.
Let's see. Never mind. I'll be going.
Huh? Best you talk to my brother. He's good with words. I'm good with the anvil.
Good choice.
Mm-hmm. Now would you look at that?
What is it?
I would like...
Well, if you have the coin, I might be able to help. Let's see.
What's next? Will do.
Tandai Tahar. Come to trade?
Take a look. I'm sure I've got something that might spark your interest. You know how to bargain, don't you?
Yes, I do.
What do we need?
Yes, yes?
Let me take a look at your designs.
Of course. Take all the time you need.
What can I do for you today?
I want to equip...
I had hoped as much. What do you need?
Farewell.
So, I'm guessing the elves I'll get later. The orcs I'm probably going to get a bit more of.
Yes. I'm sure I have just what you need. Farewell.
Yes, yes. Looking for some orcish craftsmanship?
Still kind of want that helm. That's a ridiculous mace, though. There we go. Bam.
Zalraka, what do you need?
I want to...
All right. Here's what we can do.
Okay. Wait, what is that thing? Sorry, give me a sec. Wrong thing.
Zalraka, what do you need?
I want to train.
All right. Here's what we can do.
Oh, that's the special inventory. I didn't realize that. I thought that was buyback. So I'm gonna go to him and see what he has, and then go to other people. I need to go to Everlight. They had some really cool shit at Everlight. So if I can get my main character's stats all up to max, that'd be cool.
Yes, yes. Looking for some orcish craftsmanship?
Vampiric, Weakening, Nullify, Hexing Armor. Heavy armor of the bear. That's cool. Titan's armor. Oh, he has actually really good shit.
Yes, yes.
Scrolls? I'm sure I have just what you need.
I'll be back. I need to go talk to the dwarf. Alright, while I'm running there, be right back. And I'm back. Special inventory. That's not bad. What the hell? Battle Mage medium armor. Okay, that's cool. Oh, they have some really cool shit.
Let's see.
Well, I'm headed back up this way. One of these guys had good shit. I'll have to see that.
What can I do for you today?
I'll be off.
Sure. May Niehaus guide your blade.
Yes, yes?
Let me take a look at your designs.
Of course. Take all the time you need.
He might have some interesting stuff.
Tandai Tahar. Come to trade?
What you need.
Okay, I don't know what this does, but... Two-handed, not great. Not enough right now.
You know how to bargain, don't you?
Tandai Tahar. Come to trade?
Daggers to moon silver
Let's
swords.
see if I can get that at least.
Pleasure doing business with you. Come again. I'm getting new wares by the next moon's turn.
Tandai Tahar. Come to trade?
A fair offer.
Okay, Noria's command. It says it increases stuff, but I don't see it doing anything. I'll keep it. It's an artifact. I don't know what it does. Gonna report a bug. I don't think it does anything. Let me make sure. I'll take it out into battle and test it. Supposedly enhances everything, but I don't see it doing anything. So
let's see.
We'll see. Before I go further in the main quest, I'll go dink around with a few things.
So, I guess we have some time.
You knew about my mother, didn't you?
Well, the answer is... But they weren't enough to go on, and I had no idea your mother was connected to the Bloodburn.
Why didn't you tell me?
Is that so? That I believe you might be the result of your father's experiments? That you're the offspring? I mean, at best, you wouldn't have believed me. And at worst, it would have cost you your sanity. So no, I don't think I should have told you. I didn't know if these suspicions had any substance at all, and I would have been at great risk, especially back then when you were still part of the rebellion.
Where did these...
No. And he never found out that I knew. Your father... I don't need to tell you how meticulous he was, do I? I found one. A notebook. The story's actually quite simple. Your father had gone out to meet with Aelot.
Really?
I know. And he wasn't exactly trustworthy towards me, neither. But you know Asamo. His mood was never what you'd call stable. One day, he'd think the entire rebellion had schemed against him. The next day, it was part of his charisma, I guess. Sometimes I think the reason why the Mage Rebellion became so big was less of Isamo's magical powers. So I had found this small booklet on his table. It didn't look...
What was in there?
His experiments in the eye. The ancient woman, as he called her. Your creation, these waxwork figures which he tried to infuse with life. It was disturbing.
That book. Did it say anything about how this ritual...
I don't think it can be compared to how two humans reproduce, if that's what you're thinking. But as for the details, I don't know. As I said, I barely had 1 hour.
Do you still have...
No, of course not. I couldn't even read through all of it, else your father would have noticed that I had done nothing of what he had tasked me with.
I figured. So, why did he, well, create...
Yes, I think that was the main reason. Though I couldn't help but notice a certain... I don't know... warmth in his words when he described his plans.
Was there?
I know it sounds cynical, Tahar. Still, I don't think you were just a tool. Tell me, Tahar, knowing all that, how does it make you feel?
Marvelous.
Yes. Either way, I think we both need some... Tahar, what is it?
There's one thing I've been wondering about. After...
Good question. I guess it all started with the relics.
Yes. He was
Exactly. And there was this one moment. You see, there were all those bodies. And as dramatic as it may sound, that's when I finally understood.
And that's the reason Zane, Helena, and I betrayed him. Come on, do you really want to tell us you didn't see that before? The tomes were all about...
No, you misunderstand. I knew it was about power. But it's not that far off. I mean, can't you imagine? With the power of the tomes, we could have united the world. Even made it a better one. No more persecution of the deviant. No more...
You mean an aristocracy?
There's always someone playing God. And honestly, don't you think the world would have been a better place if there were gods who act? But be that as it may, what we can be certain of is that the world the Purity is envisioning would be a far worse one than anything us mages could have ever created. They must be stopped.
I'll be off. Now
I actually have to agree with that.
Huh?
I want to...
Music to my ears. What did you have in mind?
Oh, I'm liking the special wares, so I can get more skill points, which is good, but I need money for that. I need 25,000, so I have to go to an area and do an area, which is gonna suck, because, damn it. Okay, I'll go talk to him. I have to go to Everlight. I'll save and go to Everlight. Take him with me. I'm trying to upgrade his...
Tahar, it is good to see that you have recovered.
They did?
Yes. The Lord Marshal tried to assume control, but as you might have expected, he did not have everybody's support. I must say, Tahar, your mother, she is remarkable. I have always wondered what the Shapers look, though I suppose this is a difficult topic for you. Forgive me if my words were inappropriate.
It's all right.
Good. Is there anything else you want to... Yes? What is it?
Back when we met, you told me about an internal disagreement, which led...
Why do you want to know?
No particular reason.
I see. Well, simply put, the guild had two leaders until half a year ago, me and Lena. Lena and a lot of the other mages felt that they could uphold their neutrality no longer without sacrificing their integrity.
You're talking about the persecution of mages?
Yes, I am. As Lena said, they are crucifying us, burning us alive, putting masks on our heads that destroy our minds. If there's something wrong with the world, it's people who keep their heads down because they are afraid to stand in for what's right.
Sounds like she was an idealist.
I suppose you could call her that, yes. However, her stance conflicted with everything the Creators Guild stands for. We preserve knowledge, push forward the boundaries of magic. We do not involve ourselves in power games and politics. Figuratively speaking, a fisher will never be a good military commander, just like a mage will never be a good politician.
So where did Lena and the other mages go?
I do not know. They left to fight the Purity and save mages, but I have not seen them ever since.
Could you tell me more about Lena? What was her position in the guild?
She was the guild's treasure master. Other than that, I do not know what to tell you. She was quite young when she joined the guild, not even 24 winters old, and immensely talented. When it came to mentalism, her skills were unmatched. She was different than the others. She was better than the others. And I always saw a spark of genius in her eyes. And yes, I do know that most people would call that attraction. But it was just a fraction of what made our bond unique.
Well, I understand the conflict.
Well, you are an empathetic man, so I would have been surprised if you did not. But these events lie in the past. There is no point in discussing them any further, though I had certainly hoped for a different outcome.
You seem bitter.
As I said, I had hoped for a different outcome.
Could you tell me more about the woman who initiated the split? Lena. What was your relationship?
I would rather not talk about it. Please understand.
Of course. But if you ever want to talk about it...
I will tell you.
Goodbye.
Okay, I'm gonna save. Head to Everlight, because I'm curious. Because that's another place that has a lot of things to sell. Like, I have a bunch of money right now, but I need more. Like, you don't get what I mean when I say I do fair trades in this game. When you get near the end of the game, you're going to be torn. And you may be thinking, why would you be torn? Because you're going to spend a shit ton of money. It happens in every single one of these games. When you get right near the end, unless you do every quest, this, that, the other thing, still, you'll spend a crap ton of change to finally boost up to the best type of amulets and shit you can get. So...
All right.
Take Osama with me. I'm curious about him. And, I already know his. Let's look at... Where's Iria? I don't see Iria. Oh, there she is.
All right,
I haven't seen
here goes
hers
nothing.
yet.
Of the few refugees who make it to Everlight, many are shocked to find that their troubles do not end there. Though its neutrality as a city-state left it largely unscathed during the Mage Wars, the city has its own mountain of problems to struggle with. The biggest ones being the ever-growing gap between the rich and...
Something you need?
Alright. So his earth shaping doesn't get anything upped yet, sadly. So I'm guessing that unlocks when you do their side quests. So sword and board is good. I'll get his war cry up next. Let's see for her.
Sure.
Yes?
Huh? Let's see.
We'll go to the guild first, then I'll hit those guys before I head back. I left the area because I want to dink around with someone before I start my onslaught. If I can't talk to Isgrim because of that, I'll progress the story. But I'll save first.
As a neutral, a political association of mages solely devoted to the study of magic, the members of the Creators Guild were among the few
Yes?
Let's see.
Yes? Want to trade?
Farewell.
And this is why you have to farm for cash. Although that ability doesn't work. I should be buying shit for less, but it doesn't seem to do anything. So it's glitched.
Of the few refugees who make it to Everlight, many are shocked to find that their troubles do not end there. Though its neutrality as a city-state left it largely unscathed during the Mage Wars, the city has its own mountain of problems to struggle with.
If I could cheat and give myself
What do you want?
cash, I would.
Blasted armor.
Because I'd just buy all that. Super power up my main character. Actually, I might not. I might give him... I'd probably save most of that. To be honest. There'd be no point in using it.
That way?
Seriously, there'd be no point in using it.
Yes, yes, come closer. I'm sure I have just what you need.
Hey. Ooh. Kinda want that amulet. But I'm not willing to spend for it yet.
Farewell.
Yep. I'm just searching out what I can go and buy soon.
Farewell. Oh, you're an adventurer, aren't you? Come, take a look.
So, there's those. That's good. And yes, I said I'd give myself cash if I could cheat. Because most everything else is simple. Getting the cash, though, would be useful. See, like with Aenir's Blade and all this other areas, I have to go back to a lot, actually. It's quite simple. I will head back to the... Ooh, maybe I should do that. I will head back out, actually. I'm gonna save and head back out. There's something I want to check. Something I wasn't able to do before. I'm going to go. If it doesn't work, I'll just load that save and go into Mulandir. And see if I can talk to Isgrim, because I want to upgrade his armor. If I can't, I'll be pissed. Excusez-moi. So I will be headed back there at some point. Okay. I'll just load because it's simpler that way. Let's see if I can talk to Isgrim now. Hopefully, otherwise I'll save and do that. I'm still wondering about this old Ramsay person. A lot of people say are like, oh, this is like a beta or an alpha. No, it's not. This is a THQ Nordic. Usually what happens on THQ Nordic games is they do a really good job with the game, but what happens tends to be if they get a new game that they're trying to tinker around with, they have issues. This is mainly Bean. Doesn't tend to work exactly the way everyone expects it. And I'm like, really? That's gonna make my main pretty much an unstoppable powerhouse.
The Shaper's magical and technological prowess remains unrivaled. One thing is clear.
Please tell me I'm able to talk to Isgrim. Fuck.
Understood. Got it.
Alright, I'll go do that.
Will do.
Son of a bitch. If talking to Isgrim is broken, I will save and take a bit of a break and report the bug. See if there's any way to fix it.
Interesting.
Tahar, ready to discuss the next steps?
There's just one thing I still can't wrap my head around. How did Lakain...
The big question, isn't it? In the end, you see, it's not hard to rally people behind you if they are desperate enough. He just gave them a simple answer to a complex... Though I don't consider him a pragmatist, he really believes in what he says, that Aeonia will return once mankind has repented, which worries me even more. There's nothing...
I want to talk about Sentenza. His death.
Well, what is there to say?
So you're not angry?
For you defending your life? No. I never understood why he was so...
But he was acting on your orders.
Well, yes, strictly spoken, he was. You were a traitor. Or at least, that's what we thought back then. That witch hunt in Iskander, the battle at the Eye, that was his choice.
Why? Why did he want me dead so badly?
Well, I can only guess. But to me, it seemed as if he felt as if you had, I don't know, betrayed him. He always spoke highly of you. Did you know that? At times, it almost felt as if he considered you his own kin.
I thought so.
You see, Tahar, in the end, both he and I are men born from war. Seeing people die at your command, hearing the widows and the orphans cry as a result of your choices, it changes you. You need to find a way to deal with it. And Sentenza did so by shutting off his emotions entirely. Or, at least, to the outside. But in the end, he always did what he thought was best for Nortander. He saw the Harbinger's true face, even before he revealed it. And I brushed it off as his...
Without the Harbinger, I'd be dead.
That's true. But this discussion isn't leading us anywhere, Tahar.
You didn't tell me yet. How exactly did you get here? Weren't you in Greyfell when the Harbinger took over?
No, I wasn't. Otherwise, I wouldn't be standing here. But we were on our way back the night it happened. As you can imagine, it was a hard choice to make. But eventually, I left my pride behind and realized attacking Greykeep with the little division I was traveling with would have been suicide.
So you fled?
We retreated. The rest is simple. We went to Iskander because we had heard the rumors about your army. There, we met one of your scouts, and then the elven woman, Iria of Finon Mir.
Oh, she decided to let you in?
Correct. You know the rest. Your people were a bit distrustful at first, and I don't blame them. After all, they'd been fighting the Royal Army not too long ago. But eventually, they realized that we were on the same side.
I hope that we are.
We are. Trust me.
All right. Let's discuss what comes next.
Good.
Good. Now that you're all here, I'd like to plan how we proceed. As...
Tahar, I think you should allow yourself some more rest. You were in a coma for more than a month, and we still don't know what that melding actually did to you.
Isn't it obvious? It made him more powerful.
Yeah, but where does that power come from? What effect does it have on the human body or the psyche? We don't know.
I'm all right, Iskrim. Just trust me.
Fine. Then go on.
Thank you. So, our objective is clear. We need to defeat the Purity of Light and save my mother. Angar, am I right to assume that Lakain made Greykeep his new base of operations?
Correct. It's the center of his power, which is both good and bad. It's bad because Greyfell was built to withstand any kind of ambush.
And why is it good?
Because it also means if we succeed and reconquer Greyfell, we'll cut off the snake's head. Once we kill Lakain, the Purity will fall. However, there's no point in fooling ourselves. That battle for Greyfell will be bloody, and if we want to have even the slightest chance of winning, we need to join the remaining houses.
Ultran, Hallet, and Wulfgar.
Yes. If we put this army together with theirs, we might stand a chance. Also, you should see if you can strengthen the alliances you already have, Tahar. I have a plan regarding that, so we can talk further once this meeting has been concluded.
So do I.
All right. So where do we start?
It's up to you. But before we can even think about arranging a conclave between the houses, we need to break that spell the Harbinger put on my sister Myra. Isgrim, any ideas?
Actually, it should be simple. We need to find the one controlling her, take the rune, and, well, destroy it in the forge.
And who is controlling her? What if it's the Harbinger himself?
I doubt it. The manipulator has to be physically close to his subject, so it'll most likely be someone in Lady Moira's army. But your rune will react to another rune's presence, so once that person is near, you'll feel it.
Good. Then I have a plan. The Harbinger has taken up position in Iskander, between the Utran and the Everlight border. You know that place, Tahar. It's where your father started his rebellion, and where Sentenza almost captured you.
The Loyalist camp. So what's your plan?
We strike in full force and take the castle. He'll be forced to initiate a counterattack, and my sister's armies, the Utran army, will be the closest ones at hand.
A bait.
Yes. We hold the castle against the main army, whereas you, Tahar, and a small troop get behind enemy lines. You find the rune carrier and strike from the shadows. Obviously, you'll have to act quick. We can't hold against the entire Utran army forever.
What if killing the rune carrier won't break the mind control?
We'll just have to hope that doesn't happen.
All right. So we take over the castle, wait for the Utran armies to cross the border, sneak behind our lines, and eliminate the rune carrier. And once Lady Moira is freed, we will try to gain the support of House Hallett and House Wolfgar.
Yes, though we'll need to take care of something else before that. But let's discuss this when the time comes.
Agreed. One more thing. This will be dangerous, and our original mission has been completed. In other words, if any of you are thinking of leaving, now is the time. Well, then we best get prepared now. I'll tell you when we head out.
Understood. Tahar, I'd also like to talk with you if you have a moment.
Corporal Tahar. A word, if you will?
Who are you?
Private Miller, Corporal. I'm from the Royal Army and came here with the Lord Marshal. We've captured someone who we suspect belongs to the Purity. He was seen in the deserted village outside this city, and he looks suspicious. He claims to be a simple courier sent to deliver a message to you, but we didn't want to take any risks. He's outside, near the entrance to the caves.
I see. Thank you, soldier. Dismissed.
Corporal?
Oofta. There's still way more. There's still... More than likely, the Purity, we're going to have to gather other races, too. If you only get these 3 races, I'm going to be a bit disappointed. I want to get the Norcanen, too.
Now would you You said you know where we can find more allies.
Yes, I do. I'll make it short. The Ash Reavers have invaded the foot of Barga Gor. If we defeat them and their leader, like we defeated Krell, their soldiers will join us.
The Ash Reavers? I'm guessing that's another orc tribe.
Yes, you already met them, back at Farland's Hope. They are a very violent tribe. A lot like what Krell wanted the Fire Wielders to become. And they are nomads. They never stay in one place.
So, we head back to Barga Gor and defeat...
Well, yeah. Except for one thing. Kagan, the Ash Reavers chieftain.
Why? Because you killed Krell?
No. It's more complex. You see, becoming a shapeshifter in Orcish culture is complicated. I did my trial with another apprentice, a female named Rain. We were close. Long story short, during the trial we found ourselves locked inside a cave, deep inside the mountain of Barga Gor. Rain sacrificed herself. For me, to get to the point. Kagan is Rain's true brother. To this day.
Did you ever try to tell him the true story?
We only met once. And yes, I did try to talk to him. It ended in a fight, and truth be told, that was my last attempt to convince him. I knew it was fruitless. Our tribes lived weeks of journey from each other. And, well, which as you can guess, didn't work.
I see.
It must be. Bloodthirsty as the Ash Reavers are, there is no reason for them to start a war with the Fire Wheel. In other words, we need to stop him, and as fast as possible. According to one of my sources, the Purity is also planning to start an attack on Bargagor.
Why is the Purity attacking Bargagor?
Isn't it obvious? To eradicate us. Just like the Dark Elves, we Orcs are a creation of the renegade gods. So we aren't even given...
But that's crazy.
Does he? He's a fanatic. He thinks...
Huh. So what's the plan? Return to Bargagor, try...
If all else fails, yes. But that I didn't...
All right.
Yes. Chieftain Czar already left before you woke up to get an idea of the situation. I know time is sparse, but we should leave as soon as possible. And...
Tell me, Angar.
That's a hard question to answer. And you know it. On the one hand...
Logical.
Yes. After all your father did in the Mage War, the people were angry, desperate, broken. The Purity channeled and still channels these emotions. It may sound cynical to say that now, but if it hadn't been for the Purity of Light, something far worse...
Worse than a mage genocide?
Most of them were war criminals anyway. They would have been sentenced to death, but that is not to say that my decision to give the Purity of Light that much power came easy. I'm not free of self-doubt and empathy, Tahar.
However, I will not lie. Mages are a problem, and something needs to be done about them. If we don't, it is only a matter of time until a second Isamo Tahar will appear and once again plunge the world into chaos.
We need a group that represents mages. Then treaties could be made.
That is an interesting idea. But before we can decide, but to return to your question, all I did was take every factor into consideration and decide accordingly. You did the same, more than once. I've heard of the
We tried to help wherever we could.
I believe you. But have no doubt that there are many who don't. What I'm trying to say is, there might have been a better way to handle things, but I did not see it.
I wanted to talk about...
I had a feel. Look, back at Greykeep, the situation seemed crystal clear. You killed 3 of your brethren, and General Noria openly spoke out similar to my policy regarding the Purity of Light. I can now see that I was wrong. But again, all I did was to take... It was all I could do.
I understand.
That's good. Either way, you've been pardoned. And more than that, I don't hold any grudges against you. And I can only...
The past is...
It is indeed.
Did you ever think about what would happen if the Queen never wakes up from her coma?
She will wake up. The healers...
They've claimed that ever since the dragon incapacitated her.
The Queen has Hibernian blood in her veins. And as long as her heart is still beating, I will not waste any time. Though, of course, that is not to say that others at the court haven't done it. Most people believe that Queen Aelith doesn't have an heir. But that's wrong. She does.
Really? Who?
A cousin. I suppose you know about the Queen's problematic ancestry. The ability to give life has always been impaired in her bloodline, which is why she does not have any brothers or sisters. However, it was rumored that her uncle, Anno Aelith, left an heir...
It's the first time I've...
Yes, because the Crown took measures to quiet these rumors. Suffice it to say that Queen Aelith's supposed cousin is far from an ideal candidate. I can feel it.
You said that you have an idea on how we can get more...
Yes, I do. It's someone you're already familiar with. At least, according to your friend.
You want to convince them to join our troops?
Not all of them, obviously. The Field Dog are an even greater threat than the Purity, even if most people nowadays have almost forgotten about them. What I suggest is that we strike a bargain with them. They give us a small division of their elite keepers, and we provide them with twice the amount of footmen and maybe engineers to make up for it.
Engineers and infantry for a handful of knights. Is that really worth it?
It is. The Falcons aren't only excellent fighters. Their presence will also inspire our soldiers. They're living legends.
That's not what it seemed like when I was there. High Keeper Aranor almost lost the two.
Well, given that the latter now fight for the Harbinger, a mistrust wasn't that unjustified, don't you think? But still, you make a fair point. Keeper Aranor is complicated.
All right, it's worth...
Whenever you want. Thanks to these Godstones, it won't take us long to get there, so I'm not expecting this mission to cost us more than...
Fair enough.
Good.
Let's see.
All right.
I need to still figure out the goblin flesh thing. He says, not strong enough. Need butter. How much goblin flesh do I have? Confirm.
To this day, the Shaper's
if I can't
magical
speak
and
to him, I'll
technological
report it
prowess
and end my
remains
stream for a
unrivaled.
bit.
One thing is clear.
Please. Damn it. Well. Everyone, thank you for coming. I'm going to quit the game and tinker around with a few other things to see if I can figure out how to fix that. Thank you all for coming, and I hope you have a good day.